Iraq's Nineveh Plains lie between the Kurdish north and the Arab south. The area is home to a variety of ethnic minorities, including a group of people known as Assyrians. They are descendants of the world's first Christians, whose presence here dates back to the 1st century AD. They speak a dialect of Aramaic, similar to the language spoken by Jesus. Anwar Isho is a book printer. Could you read something for us?
Yeah, of course. It's speaking about the mother of Jesus.
About Mary. Today, there are fewer than 250,000 Christians living in Iraq, down from more than 1 million at the start of the U.S.-led war in 2003. The latest threat to them has come from ISIS. The militants invaded the Nineveh Plains 2 years ago, occupied Mosul and many of the surrounding towns. They destroyed ancient pre-Islamic art, razed Assyrian archaeological sites to the ground, and issued Christians a chilling ultimatum: convert to Islam, pay taxes to us, or die. Thousands of Iraqi Christians fled Mosul, including Mayada Abdaghani, her husband, and their 4 children. ISIS gave them only 3 days' notice to leave their home, enough time to pack some clothes and family pictures. They live now in an old school building converted into refugee housing in the nearby Christian town of Al-Kosh, which ISIS had in its sights before Iraqi and Kurdish forces pushed them back. Now she listens to the radio for news about home, where ISIS kidnapped her brother 2 years ago. She hasn't heard from him since. The station gets phone calls from anti-ISIS people inside of Mosul. They phone in and let people on the outside know exactly what's going on in the city, and it's really dangerous. If ISIS catches them, they could hang them. Apparently they just hanged 4 people for doing things like that. Before they set out to retake Mosul last month, the Iraqi army and the Kurdish fighters, known as the Peshmerga, both with the support from the U.S. military, began liberating small towns on the way, including several majority Christian towns like Batnaya that had been occupied by ISIS. And when did they leave?
3 days ago.
3 days ago. We walked through Batnaya with Father Emmanuel Yuhana. Yuhana is a leader in the Assyrian church who runs a local Christian charity. He was anxious to inspect the town's historic church to see what damage ISIS had done. This was his first time back in 2 years. Is there one word to describe how you felt when you stepped through that door?
Joy that the church has survived, but sadness for what was being done in the church.
Holy books were burned. The Book of Psalms?
Yes.
ISIS, or Daesh as it's known here, left its mark. This symbol over here, and I've seen this before.
This is by Daesh, written Allah. Allah. There Muhammad. Yeah. And here Allahu Akbar. The Islamic slogans.
During our visit, an improvised explosive device ISIS left behind as a booby trap detonated outside the church.
Okay. We are in danger, please.
Okay, all right. Okay, so we were just told we have to get out of here because there are a lot of explosions happening, so it's time to go. Let's go.
Yeah, we have to go, yeah.
Okay. Even if these towns become safer, that doesn't mean the Christians who were forced out will be willing or able to come back, according to Father Emmanuel.
One of our immediate concerns is that what will be happening in these Christian towns when they are liberated, because we have concerns that they will be occupied
By non-Christians. Father Emmanuel says there are signs that Iraqi Muslim troops, in particular Shiites, are showing their colors in some Christian towns in an attempt to intimidate Christians. He's counting on Christian militias to protect Christian property. Douglas Aziz is a soldier in a Christian militia called Dwechnausha, meaning those who sacrifice. An air conditioning repairman and father of 3 little girls, Aziz helped liberate Batnaya.
It was a fierce battle.
Aziz says ISIS had snipers and grenades and suicide bombers on motorcycles. He shot this video while on patrol, showing how ISIS dug tunnels under the church to protect themselves from American-led airstrikes. In the end, the militiamen helped drive ISIS out. It was a proud moment when Aziz himself climbed to the top of the church in Batnaya to replace the cross.
We're very happy we are winning. We want Assyrians to control this area.
So this is the printing press here. Still, some in the Assyrian Christian community, like printer Anwar Isho, are pessimistic about the future. He doesn't trust the Kurds or the Iraqi government to protect them. What's the future look like for Christians in this area?
It seems very dark. Yeah. Really. If they don't have any power, if they don't have anyone to support them, they can do nothing. Only thing they can do, they will leave. So they are going to Europe or to America or to Australia or to other places, so they are vanishing.
Mayada Abdagani, whose family has found refuge in the Christian town of Al-Kosh, doesn't know what she will do when the fighting stops in Mosul. Although she was comfortable living among Muslims before, she says some collaborated with ISIS, and now she's fearful of having Muslim neighbors again.
That's in the past. I don't trust them anymore.
She and the rest of Iraq's Christians will have to pick up the pieces as ISIS retreats. Just last week, ISIS surrendered the ancient Assyrian city of Nimrud, but not before laying waste to its vast cultural heritage, dating over 1,000 years before Jesus. Father Emmanuel says ultimately the future of Christianity in Iraq will be determined by those who decide to come home to the Christian ghost towns of the Nineveh Plains. Hundreds of thousands of Christians have left Iraq. If this trend continues, aren't you worried that there may no longer be any Christians here?
You know, it is a challenging question to keep the Christian church alive here, and we can. We will never give up. We might be helpless, but we are never hopeless.